Right, well, it's the 1st of September, much to my delight. I absolutely love the autumn, and this being a deep lake should fish a bit better throughout this sort of time of year. It's notoriously difficult through the summer, so hopefully, yeah, a lot to look forward to through the autumn. It's bank holiday weekend this weekend, and I spent the weekend up in Oxford finishing off an otter fence on my syndicate that I've got up there, which was, really good to get that done. It took ages, probably 25 work parties I think in total, something stupid like that. That's all done and dusted, so them special carp that are in that lake are now safe. Yeah, got here about midnight, same as like last week, put a bit of bait out and then cast my rods out this morning about 8 o'clock. Absolutely chucking it down this morning, looked really good. There's a few patches of fizz over the bait, but it's brightened up a bit now. The sun's just gone in, but it's been quite bright for the last hour or so. I'm not really seeing a great deal. One possible show might have been a bream, I'm not too sure. Like, I didn't actually see the fish clear the water, I just saw the rings. So I'm confident. Like I say, it was good in here last week. Weather's not quite as good this week, but early days. I'm going to fish this swim quite a lot this autumn, so the plan is just to keep the bait going in, rack a few nights up in here, and hopefully, I'm going to fish right through the winter. So the idea is just to build the swim up, ready for the sort of tail end of the autumn and the winter. And yeah, we shall see. Early days yet, but as always, pretty confident of catching something. Right, well, funny old day yesterday, the rain in 1 minute, really sunny the next, and the pressure was really high as well. So although it looked good when it was raining, when that sun was out, it looked pretty crap to be fair. And coming into the evening, I was sort of doubting things. Sure enough, just as it was getting dark, I started to see fish show all over the lake. Repositioned my rods, dropped them back much shorter, probably only 25-30 yards. And then just before first light, this little dude slipped up. So one of the stock fish, lovely little linear, and saved the blank so far. Got the rest of the day left, so I'm gonna hang it out. Hopefully, time to grab one more before it's time to go. Cheers, little dude. Well, I'm back down the lake. It's a beautiful Sunday evening. It's looking good. I've seen quite a few fish on the top today. It's been pretty sunny. They've been cruising around, but my rods have gone out, same as the last couple of trips. Out in the pond, over a bit of boardie crumb, a few broken boardies and a few whole ones, just bombed out. So yeah, rods are out there sweet. Not seen anything jump yet, but it's early days. It's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening, so got 3 nights, and we'll see what happens. Well, they started showing quite a lot last night as it got dark. They showed right through till midnight when I went to bed, all out in front of me, sort of beyond me and to the right. And I think what they're doing is they're showing longer than me, and they're coming into my spot, which is probably about 50 yards out, drifting it onto me sort of throughout the night. But yeah, I've had another fish, left hand rod, and if I look at it, it's common, about 15, 16 pounds. Right, not a great deal's happened today. I've seen probably 5 or 6 shows, and most of them have been in front of me. I can see a fair bit of water here, and I haven't seen too much on the opposite side. It's quite common they will be on the opposite side of me. So yeah, that's promising. They're obviously in front of me still. I've had a northerly wind blowing in my face all day. It's just calmed off now. It's probably about 7 o'clock in the evening. So like I say, I've seen a few fish throughout the day. Nothing massive. I did see one fish I certainly wouldn't mind putting a hook in. But depending on what I see over the next hour or so, as the light fades, it's quite a good time to see them of late. So I'll probably watch into the dark, and then maybe think about moving one of my rods off that baited area at say 50 yards, drop it a bit shorter, maybe something like 25, 30 yards, like I say, where I have seen a sort of slightly larger fish throughout the day. We'll have to see. I'm confident on the 2 rods out in the lake, and it will depend entirely on what I see over the next sort of 2 hours to whether I reel that rod in or not. But fingers crossed for the night. Hopefully we'll nick another one. Well, the night turned out to be quite an interesting period. They showed a lot into dark. I said I was going to reel one in, drop it shorter. I didn't actually do that. I had a bream at 11 o'clock on my banker rod. got it back out, and I had another bream, massive bream, on my righting rod at midnight. Got the rod sorted again, and then I had another bream at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was absolutely livid about. Burning through all my rigs I had tied. Got the last one out to the spot. But got a nice cup of coffee here, ready to go. Breakfast here, and more importantly, over there in that net, I've got a decent common. It's certainly one of the biggest, not a 30 pounder, but it's one of the biggest commons I've had out of here that sort of isn't a 30, if that makes sense. There's hardly any commons between 20 and 30 pound in the lake. He's definitely mid-20 this one, so let's get him out. Oh no. Oopsie. Right, I'm gonna get the fish out, eat my breakfast. Right, well not long after I got the rod back out, sat there watching him fizzing. Put rice over my left hand rod. It probably hadn't been out there half hour, and got another one. A little stocky this time. We'll get him out first and then do the bigger one after, I reckon. Happy days. Right, well, here's a little stocky. Not quite as nice as some of the ones in here, but he'll certainly do. It's another bite off the spot, so that's happy days coming into the autumn. Still early days yet, so. But the other one, common, is the absolute nuts, so I'm going to get that one out now and try this little matey back in his home. Right, I've got a very angry girlfriend at the car park dropping my laptop off, so I've got to get him back quick. What a fish. Beautiful colours. Right, well, let's get into that sort of time of day where you reflect on what has happened and try and guess what you think will happen next. Today's been pretty boring, to be honest. It's been quite bright, flat, calm. If the old pressure police were about, they'd be on code red. It's like 1,031, the pressure, so it's shockingly high. The highest I've fished in for ages, to be fair. Sunny, yeah, a bit neither here nor there really. It's just been a bit pants the weather. Shocked to have caught anything, to be honest. I really wasn't that confident with the conditions. But I've had a few bites, so I'm buzzing about that. I'm coming back on Sunday anyway. We're meant to have a nice low pressure moving for like 4 or 5 days, so fingers crossed, you know, if it could really kick off come the Sunday when I get back down. But until then, got another night to go, but I've got to pack up in a minute. It's my dad's birthday, so I'm going out for a Chinese. We were going to go out for Chinese, and now he wants to stay home actually, order a Chinese and watch the football. England are playing, so I'll probably do that. And I'll come back down once that's over, belly full of grub. Yeah, I've just topped my spot back up. Probably got another hour and a half, 2 hours before I've got to leave yet. So it's only, like I say, it's only 45, 50 yards out. So I've just put a few bombs board, come out there. Same as the sort of last few trips. And that's topped up nicely, so I'll be able to come back down later on tonight, put the rod straight back on the spots. Fingers crossed, you know, if I don't get one before I leave for the Chinese, hopefully I'll get one once I've crept back down later on this evening, but we shall see, eh? Just seen one, so looking good. Right, well, I'm back in situ, back where I left off last week. Blanked my final night of that session. The pressure got really high, like I said, it's about 1,030. Although I caught fish at the beginning of the week, the pressure had only just gone up. I think a couple of days into the trip, you know, it took its toll and killed the lake dead. You know, I come back as well, I did Thursday night, got here late, probably about 11 at night, did an overnighter, just to test the water really. You know, I blanked tonight, so I thought I'll come back and do another one, just to see if maybe the spot's slowing down because I'd caught on my last 5 nights. And yeah, blanked again. But the weather was terrible. I come back yesterday, which was a Sunday. We had a new moon last night. It was flat calm yesterday, quite sunny, bit of cloud around, but again, didn't look great. But last night, new moon, pressure's plummeted. It's about 995 at the minute. And the weather today has been much better. You know, we've had a lot of cloud, wind and rain. You know, there's a nice southerlies picked up. It's just by far the carpier sort of weather, you know. Haven't seen that many fish today. I saw a lot last night in the evening to my left. And sort of expected them to drift onto me really, but they didn't seem to. All the fish I've seen have been to my left. There's a few people fishing that area, so leave them to that. But yeah, the spot, you know, I'm confident of bites off of it still, especially with this weather, you know. But tonight, if I blank tonight, it'll be my 4th blank night in a row, so maybe they're starting to become a little bit wary of the area. I'll have to have a little rethink, maybe rest it for a little while, see if I can get it going again. But like I say, weather looks wicked, and despite having done a few blanks, you know, I'm really confident of catching one, certainly at some point during this session. I've still got 2 nights to go, so fingers crossed we'll put an end to that little blank spell.
It's raining, it's pouring. Will I catch one between now and the morning? Just trying to sing to keep myself happy. Feeling a bit depressed at the minute, but weather's looking a lot better. A couple of blue clouds over there in the background, but hopefully they'll disappear. Just so you know, I am available for a record deal if there are any going. Quite a lot of experience as far as the singing goes, but yeah, just bear it in mind.
Turn off the lights, let's hide where we are.
Well, blank number 4 is well underway. 4 nights, no carp, and this week, the 2 nights I've blanked, the conditions have been perfect. Last week they were terrible, this week they're absolutely spot on. Breamed out last night. So yeah, it's not good. They're jumping around, but nothing's getting caught, and the conditions are absolutely spot on. Normally it'd do fish in this weather, I'd have thought, but no carp, and I'm not a happy bunny. Need to be catching one. Don't like blanking.
Right, well, my last session ended in a blank, first one for a while, where I've actually had no bites at all. You know, I had a session not long ago where I lost a couple, but last week, not a single bite. And basically I went from there to Walthamstow. I went there with Joe Morgan from Carp TV, and I won't tell you what happened there, you'll have to watch that to find out. Basically on my way home from there on the Friday, I stopped into another lake to try and catch one out the edge, and it was absolutely awesome, that session. You know, the weather was perfect, raining really hard, I got absolutely drenched, but basically in about 3 or 4 hours I caught 7 fish. I was fishing with 1 rod, right on the edge, probably 6 foot out, a little bit of boarded crumb, fish were coming in. I was watching them pick up the hook bait and then bang, like nailing them. It was wicked, some of the most enjoyable fishing I've had for a long time. You know, you really can't beat watching them pick up the bait and get nailed, you know, it was quality. And I caught some lovely fish as well. I had smallest one was a little common, about 12 pound, little long one. I had a tench just after that. Then I had a beautiful 27 pound, 4 ounce common, real long, old looking fish, proper cracker, and the biggest one I've actually had from that lake. Also had a 25 pound common, again, really nice long fish. I had a 23 pound common, sort of very orangey coloured carp. A 21 pound common, which is probably one of the most deformed carp you're ever likely to see, proper character, real bent up thing. An 18 pound common, a 16 pound common, and I think that was it. I had 7 in total, so wicked fun though. You know, watching him in the edge is about as good as fun as it gets, and rig performed really well as well, which is always nice to see. You know, so often you actually get to watch them picking up the rigs and see how they deal with them, and pretty much every single occasion I hooked the fish and landed it. I had 1 small common, picked the lead up, shook it around, float went under, and he shook it off. But yeah, that happens, you know. But all in all, what a few hours fishing it was. It was absolutely wicked fun. And I went home soaked, absolutely stinking of fish, but with a very big smile on my face. And I'm now currently back down the lake I've sort of been at consistently all year really. I got here yesterday, which was Sunday evening, got here late, about 8:30, pitch black, put 2 rods out to my usual area, bit of bait over the top, and sat back basically. There was quite a lot of fish shown in the area, but nothing happened throughout the night. Very quiet this morning as well, to be fair. I saw 1 fish show about 20 yards short of the spot, and 1 just out to my left as well. So it's a quiet morning today, but we forecast a lot of rain, and it's fingers crossed we're going to get some wicked weather, and maybe I'll catch one. We're starting to get all the leaves falling now. Autumn's well and truly here, much colder nights, but the lake's fishing really slow. I thought we'd be doing a few more fish. It's done 2 bites in the last 2 weeks, so a stocky and a tiny common. So it's still doing the odd fish, but I thought more would be coming out really. They're very active as well, but it's a tough lake, and just hoping and praying that big one's going to come along. It's 15 months since his last capture, and that was sort of off the top, and the capture before that was over 2 years ago, and that was off the bottom. So it hasn't done a capture off the bottom for over 2 years now. So proper hard fish to catch, especially when you consider the size of the lake. But I'm going to do my very best to nick him this autumn and winter. I'm planning to stay right through the winter, so we'll see. Like I say, it's not looking great so far this session, but hopefully this weather will turn up and spur him into a bit of feeding. But if anything does happen, you'll be informed.
Weather's looking wicked now. Rain's come back, and hopefully it's here to stay. We are forecast a big chunk of rain, so I'm hoping this will be here for the night. Got to see one soon. My mate's just rung me as well. He's had a £40 common, so massive respect, big up to Ollie Bowles. Loving that. Hopefully I can catch one and all. There's some geezer on the far bank. I don't know if you can see him, he's got white shorts on. He does not care about the rain. He's got a bivvy up, but he's been stood outside for absolutely ages. He must be soaked. His mates with him and all. They must be mental. Well, looking a lot better now. That's what we like to see. Bit of rain. It's been chucking it down, but easing off now. Still ain't seen nothing. Right. Hey ho. The old rods are down there doing the do. There we go, lovely. And somewhere out there is the carp of my dreams.
This is where they've been showing predominantly, sort of last night. And I did see one out here when I said there's one out to the left this morning. Right, 3rd and final night, just do a quick update. I've done no video in today, I've been sat in my bivvy with the ump, basically because I'm blanking. I don't like blanking, but the fish are, I'm pretty sure they're just moving around the lake, smashing the natural at the minute. They're very active of an evening, bit of bubbling in that in a day. There's been quite a few people fishing, and nothing really has been caught, nothing's caught while I've been here. So yeah, I think next week, total rethink if I don't catch tonight. I've got a really good drop on my left-hand rod, which is the one I'm going to get my bites off of. So hopefully, that'll do a fish. I've said that 5 nights in a row now though. So yeah, it'll be my final night in here, fishing static. And if that fails, I'll be on the move next week and trying to catch them, because they are giving themselves away, to be fair. And I think sitting here, it's just boring. I don't like sitting still. If it's working, I'm happy to do it, but last couple of trips, it's not been working. So fingers crossed for tonight. Hopefully we'll catch one, but if not, next week, total rethink, change of tactics, and hopefully we can sort of force one onto the bank.
Gotta love a bit of this. Catching carp on the float. Yeah, baby. Let's get him out and have a look at him, shall we?
Right, well, here he is. He's not very happy, this one. Keeps twisting up and bending all over the place. What fun it is to catch them on the float. Really is good. Watching them feeding, picking up the hook bait, striking. It's absolute nuts. Ain't done it for years either. Loving it down here at the minute. Well, let's get this little dude back, try and catch myself a bigger one. Come on then, little buddy. Off you go. I hope you can see that. See the carp coming in and feeding? A few little ones about at the minute, look like doubles. I'm going to wait a bit longer, see if I can get a bigger one feeding. I see one that looked about £30 a little while ago. Tench down there as well. Come on, where's Big Daddy? Right, well, I was going to wait for a bigger fish to turn up, and basically the little ones kept coming in. They were there for quite a while, to be fair, ate quite a lot of bait, but no big ones turned up. So I sort of waited and waited, and most of the fish now seem to have left the area. I haven't spooked them or anything, but I think I've seen a couple showing open water, and I reckon they've probably drifted out this corner into the main body. You know, sort of towards the end of September now, so I'm sure they're spending the evenings and a big part of the night out there eating. So nipped down there for a couple of hours, got my mate on the lake next door. There's a little causeway between the two, so he's over there. So I can have a little social with him. But yeah, that's the end of my float fishing time in this swim for now. It's I don't know what the time is now. I got here after work, so it's getting on a bit. I think getting into that point in the evening where the fish are just going to leave this edge and, like I say, move down there. So I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully, we'll catch one. So this is what I'm feeding them. Cell activate pellets. They love them.
Right, I'm right down the other end of the lake now. 2 rods out. I think I see one show down here. There's quite a bit of bubbling, so it's worth half hour or so. Just got 2 little activate pop-ups out there, little homemade jobbies. But I reckon they'll start showing soon, so if they're not showing here, I'll have a move. Right, well, we're into darkness now. Nice big moon up there. Full moon on Sunday. Just had a little common. Moved again after where I was earlier. Just as it got dark, moved up back up the other end. And I've had one fishing across to the far margin, about 3/4 away up the lake. Time for one more.